This lesson is going to be a challenge lesson where we're going to take something that we've learned earlier and apply it to something new. And the new thing that we're introducing in the lesson is a template literal. So it allows you to use the backticks. So that's just above your tab on your keyboard or to the left of the 1 key on your keyboard or most keyboards. And you can use backticks in order to wrap the content of your template. And there's some examples as well available at the Mozilla Developer Network. And as well, we already got introduced to prompt, which gives us the ability to show an input to the user and then use that input value, returning it into a variable, and then utilize that variable within the code. So let's take a look at template literals called template strings prior to ES 2015 specification. And you can see we've got the backticks and they're wrapping the content, and they're allowing us to have line breaks in there as well, calculate some JavaScript. So we've got a variable of A and a variable of B, so it allows us to add those together. So typically before the template literals, or when we're using the quotes, the single quotes, we see that we have to break out of the quotes. And whereas done in a template literal, it's a whole lot neater. And whenever we do have the line breaks, we don't have to do the \n in order to have a line break within our console. We can simply output that simply as having that line break there. So what you can do is you can copy this, and we can go to inspect, go over to the console and paste it in. And we see that we get that output and that line break is included. We need to have this all on one line within that expression. And we can get the same output, but it's not as nice and clean. So the objective of this lesson, the challenge of this lesson, is use a template literal in order to pull the variable value in. Ask the person the name, and then use that variable that gets returned as a template literal, and then output the message. So go ahead and try that in your editor. So we need a variable in order to contain our user name, and we're going to collect this using the prompt, asking what is your name to the web visitor. And then we're also going to create a message variable, and this is going to use a template literal. So we've got our backtick, and you can also enter in a line break if you wanted to as well. To utilize the variable, we use the $sign and the curly brackets, and here we just simply put in the name of the variable, and we close the statement with the semicolon. And now we can console log out message, and we'll see what gets returned. So when we refresh, it's asking us for our name, and we see we've got welcome Lawrence. So if, for instance, we wanted to have the name on the second line, you can see that the way that it works, it outputs it within the same format. So we don't have to have the / for the line break or anything like that that we normally would with the single quotes. So go ahead and try this out within your editor.